A new proposed policy in Wyoming is sparking debate between policymakers and librarians. The policy would force libraries across Wyoming to remove books that depict sexual explicit material from children's sections. That includes teen sections and young adult sections. Lawmakers originally discussed fines ranging anywhere from $500 to $50,000 per item for any library that violates this new book policy.
The fines have been changed. They actually eliminated the fine, and then what they instead did was they said that anybody challenging a book who thinks that it violates the law, if this law goes through, they could bring the book to the library board and ask them to review it based on the library's reconsideration policy.
If the library fails to remove the book, or for whatever reason the book remains on the shelves, the individual who originally reported the book could then sue the library for upwards of $5,000 plus attorney fees.
So that can be very difficult for a library. That those are public taxpayer funds that would go out in a fine. And it also puts a spotlight on libraries as kind of like a bounty hunt, if you will. So people could go and select books, go through the process, not agree with it, and then make us go to court and pay for these fines. And those fines go directly to the person instead of what the initial bill draft said, which was it would go back to the government. So basically, we would be paying taxpayer dollars out to individuals.
Librarians fear that the legislation could also remove important historical works like the Diary of Anne Frank or educational materials for children on topics like health, puberty, or sex, as well as religious texts like the Bible, the Quran, or even the Book of Mormon. The current version of the bill places the responsibility squarely on local libraries. Out of fear of being sued, they would need to comb through thousands of pages, book by book, and make sure that everything on their shelves complies with this new policy, a process that could take significant time and resources that most Wyoming libraries simply don't have.
If we had to do a really thorough review of all of our YA books, it would put an immense strain on our staff. Really, we can't do that and keep the library open and do what we need to do. I think part of the reason that librarians have been fighting so hard against this one bill, but it's not just this one bill. We've actually had versions of this bill for the last 4 years, and we fought really hard. I think we're always afraid that once someone gets a foothold to say, well, this small piece of the community gets to decide what the content is that the whole community can access, we're always afraid that that just keeps cascading. And I think one thing that people don't always understand is, like, truly, we defend everybody's right to free speech, right? We want all of the groups within our community to have books that represent their viewpoint, their life, who they are.
At a recent Joint Judiciary Committee held on October 13th, lawmakers took another shot at revising and clarifying this new proposed policy. The bill is set to return during a committee session in February of next year, where lawmakers will likely decide if it will move forward in the 2026 Wyoming legislative session. For many librarians in Wyoming, the hope is clear. They hope the bill never gets there.